Hello students, welcome to the new session of this chapter. In this session we will learn about the free fall. So students, let's start our session with the free fall and the acceleration due to gravity. So class, we already know that due to the gravitational force, the earth attracts objects towards itself. And whenever objects fall towards the earth under this force alone, or we can say under the gravitational force, we say that the objects are in the free fall. So in nutshell, we can say that the motion of an object under the gravity alone is called the free fall. Here are some important points. The first is there is no change in the direction of motion of the objects during the free fall, but the velocity continuously changes, which is called the acceleration due to gravity. And students, the acceleration due to the gravity is denoted by small g, and the unit of small g is meter per second square. Our next concept is the relationship between capital G and small g. That means the relationship between the universal gravitational constant and the acceleration due to the gravity. So students, if the stone is falling towards the surface of the earth, then we can say that the force will be the m, I mean to say mass, into acceleration. I mean to say mass of the falling object and the acceleration. In this formula, I'm using small g in place of a, because in the case of falling, the acceleration is not the simple acceleration, that is the acceleration due to the gravity, and that is why we are using small g over here. And students, we also know the formula to calculate the force between the two objects in the universe. By using these two formulas, we can write this. And students, we can see that m is common in the right hand side and in the left hand side. So we can cancel the small m, that is the mass of the falling object. Now our formula will be g equals to, I mean to say small g equals to capital G into capital M, that is the mass of the earth, upon d square, that is the separation between two objects. So students, this formula is nothing but the relationship between the capital G and the small g, and it is very useful for various numerical problems. But in the another case, where the object is very nearby, or we can say on the surface of the earth, then our formula will be g equals to capital G into mass of the earth divided by r square. So students, in this case the r is the radius of the earth. So whenever the object is on the surface of the earth, we will use r, that is the radius of the earth, instead of d. Class, now I'm going to calculate the value of small g. So we have this formula, and by using this formula we can easily calculate the value of small g. But we need the value of capital G, the value of mass of the earth, and the value of the radius of the earth. So students, this is the value of capital G, this is the value of mass of the earth, and this is the value of the radius of the earth. So now I'm going to put all these values in the given formula. After calculation, we will have z equals to 9.8 meter per second square. So students, the value of g is 9.8 meter per second square, and this value is almost constant. I'm saying almost constant, not always constant, because the earth is not a perfect sphere. That is why when we are moving towards the poles of the earth, we can see small changes in the value of g. Otherwise, in our simple numerical problems, we can use 9.8 or 9.81 meter per second square. Our next topic is motion of objects under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. So students, for this topic I'm going to play a video. That video will give you the more information. So please watch that video carefully.
In your study of motion, you have learned about the equations of motion. There are three equations of motion. 1. V is equal to U plus AT. 2. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. And 3. V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. These equations relate displacement, velocity, and the acceleration of a body. The acceleration of all freely falling bodies is due to gravity. Therefore, we can simplify these equations for freely falling bodies. Now let us observe how these equations of motion are modified for freely falling bodies in all three cases. The first one is the case where a body drops from a certain height. Here, the initial velocity of the body u is 0. The acceleration of the body a is the acceleration due to gravity g. This value is positive because the velocity of the body increases as the body descends. Let's consider how the three equations change in this situation. Our first equation is v is equal to gt, where v is the velocity of the dropped body at the end of t seconds. Similarly, the second equation becomes h is equal to half gt square, where h is the distance covered by the dropped body at the end of t seconds. The third equation becomes v square is equal to 2gh, where v is the velocity attained by the dropped body at the moment it covers distance h. In the second case, we consider a body projected vertically downward with some initial velocity. In this case, the initial velocity of the body is not 0. The acceleration a is again the acceleration due to gravity g. By substituting a is equal to g in the three equations, we get the revised equations as shown. Acceleration due to gravity is positive in this case, as well as the velocity of the body increases downwards. However, in the third case, the body is projected vertically upward. In such a scenario, the velocity of the body decreases as the body ascends. Therefore, the acceleration of the body becomes negative. By substituting a is equal to minus g in the three equations, we get the revised equations as shown.
So class, I hope you understand the concepts covered in this session. After this session, please read the NCERT book and complete the given assignment. Thank you.